Ah, the sea! A vast, untamed expanse that called to me like a siren's song. I was born in Wales, a land of rolling hills and quiet villages, where the only adventures were the tales spun by old sailors in dimly lit taverns. As a lad, I would sit wide-eyed, listening to their stories of treasure, danger, and the freedom of the open ocean. The very thought of it sent shivers down my spine and ignited a fire in my heart. I longed for the thrill of the chase, the salt air in my lungs, and the promise of fortune. So, one fateful day, I made my decision. I packed my meager belongings, bid farewell to my family, and set sail for the Caribbean, a world where the horizon stretched endlessly and adventure awaited at every turn. Upon arriving in the Caribbean, I quickly learned that the life of a privateer was a curious blend of legality and lawlessness. I joined a crew under the English crown, sailing under a flag that promised protection while we plundered Spanish ships. Oh, the exhilaration! The wind in my hair, the roar of cannon fire, and the camaraderie of my fellow buccaneers. We were a ragtag bunch, united by our thirst for gold and glory. I remember my first taste of battle vividly, how my heart raced as we boarded a Spanish galleon, swords clashing, and the scent of gunpowder thick in the air. We fought fiercely, and when the dust settled, we emerged victorious, our holds filled with riches. But not all encounters were so straightforward. One harrowing night, we were ambushed by a fleet of Spanish warships. The moon hung low, casting an eerie glow over the water as cannonballs whistled through the air, splintering wood and sending men tumbling overboard. I rallied my crew, fighting valiantly to repel the attackers. We managed to escape, but not without losses. Friends who had shared laughter and rum now lay silent beneath the waves. It was a stark reminder of the peril that came with our way of life. The raid on Panama City in 1671 would seal my fate as a legend. With a crew of the most daring souls, we plotted our course through treacherous waters and dense jungles, our hearts set on the riches within the city's walls. The journey was fraught with peril, swamps, wild beasts, and the ever-present threat of Spanish patrols. Yet we pressed on, driven by dreams of gold. When we finally reached Panama, the air was thick with tension. We launched our surprise attack under the cover of darkness, scaling walls and overwhelming the guards. The chaos that ensued was like a fever dream. Cannon fire, shouts of victory, and the clinking of coins as we filled our bags with treasure. I stumbled upon a hidden chamber filled with gold and jewels, the flickering torchlight illuminating riches beyond my wildest dreams. But the tide turned quickly. The Spanish, alerted to our presence, rallied their forces, and we found ourselves surrounded. In a desperate bid for escape, we fought our way through the streets, setting fire to buildings to create a smokescreen. We dashed through the chaos, narrowly avoiding capture. It was a glorious triumph, but it painted a target on my back, for the Spanish would not forget this affront easily. As my fame grew, so did the dangers. I found myself constantly looking over my shoulder, aware that the Spanish were relentless in their pursuit. One particularly harrowing encounter was with a rival pirate, a scoundrel named Captain Morgan, no relation, mind you, who sought to claim my bounty for himself. We clashed on the high seas, our ships locked in a deadly dance, cannonballs flying, men shouting. It was a close call, but I emerged victorious, though not without a few scars to remind me of the price of fame. Amidst the chaos, I often pondered the peculiarities of my life. I had become a hero to some and a villain to others, a man whose name inspired both fear and admiration. The thrill of the chase was intoxicating, but the shadows of my past loomed large, reminding me that every victory came with a cost. Fate has a way of turning the tides. After years of daring escapades, I was captured by the very authorities I had once served. Brought before the English crown, I braced myself for punishment, expecting the gallows to be my final resting place. To my astonishment, I was not only spared, but knighted and appointed Lieutenant Governor of Jamaica. The irony was not lost on me. One moment, I was a feared pirate. The next, I was a man of power, tasked with maintaining order in a land filled with rascals and rogues. Life in Jamaica was a curious affair. The island was a vibrant tapestry of cultures, where the air was thick with the scent of spices and the sounds of laughter echoed through the streets. Yet, beneath the surface, lawlessness reigned. Smugglers and pirates roamed freely, and the line between friend and foe was often blurred. I approached my new role with gusto, determined to bring some semblance of order to the chaos, while keeping a weather eye on the horizon for any lingering threats from my past. In my later years, I found myself living a life of contrasts. Gone were the days of swashbuckling adventures, replaced by the responsibilities of governance. I often chuckled at the peculiarities of my new life, attending formal dinners with dignitaries while reminiscing about the raucous feasts shared with my crew. The island was a place of beauty and danger, where sun-drenched beaches belied the lawlessness that lurked in the shadows. I would stroll through bustling markets, where merchants hawked their wares, and the air was filled with the sounds of bartering and laughter. Yet, I was always aware of the undercurrents of tension, the whispers of plots and schemes that could erupt into chaos at any moment. I approached each day with the same spirit of adventure that had driven me to the sea. Gathering locals around a fire, I regaled them with tales of my exploits, reminding them that the heart of a pirate never truly fades, no matter the title one holds. As I reflect on my life, I realize that my legacy is one of adventure, camaraderie, and the relentless pursuit of freedom. I have become a figure of legend, a name whispered in taverns and sung in shanties. My story is but one of many in the grand tapestry of piracy, yet it carries the weight of truth and folly. I invite you, dear listeners, to remember that every pirate has a story, and mine is a testament to the spirit of adventure that resides in us all. So, as I conclude my tale, I urge you to embrace your own journeys, to seek out the unknown, and to remember that life, much like the sea, is full of surprises and stories waiting to be told. The winds of adventure are ever present, and it is up to us to hoist our sails and chart our courses. For in the end, it is not the destination that matters, but the adventures we have along the way. Raise a glass to the spirit of adventure, and may your own tales be as rich and vibrant as the life of a pirate.